Hello，大家好，我是乌冬面。前两天我在 LinkedIn 上收到一封邮件，他的名字叫 Roman， 来自俄罗斯。他的工作就是去全世界各地拜访广告公司的创始人和 CEO。今天他来到了北京，在我们办公室，让我们听听他眼中的广告公司和广告人。Few days ago, I got a message on LinkedIn. It's from a stranger. The stranger name is Roman. And 2 weeks later, Roman is here. Hi,
Here
Roman.
I am. Hello.
Can you introduce yourself to my audience?
Sure. My name is Roman. Everything's correct. And for the past 20 years, I've been working with advertising agencies. We started out back in Moscow. And first we worked only with Russian-speaking agencies across what we call a Russophone Russian-speaking community, primarily in Russia, but also Central Asia. There are agencies that are doing Russian language marketing in Israel, in New York, in Germany, everywhere where there is a big diaspora of Russian-speaking. And about 12 years ago, we decided to have a seminar for the agency heads and founders, not in Moscow as usual, but in Italy. Because back then in 2012, package tours from Moscow to Italy were actually cheaper than hosting everyone in Moscow.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was just a few $100s. You could fly over there for a week. And so we took 25 of our clients there for a 2-day seminar. The mistake that we made was that the seminar program that we had was for 2 days, but the package tour is for a week. So we didn't know what to do the other 5 days. So we did a free day in Venice. We need to have some kind of productive day. We need to do something. And my partner told me, he said, look, why don't we call up some agency in Rome and ask them for a meeting? Maybe they won't say yes. Why not? We are their colleagues. Okay, we're from a different market. We have nothing to hide. We can be very sincere. We're not competitors, but we're colleagues. Why don't we just call them up and see if they're willing to welcome us? So we called up a few agencies in Rome, and one said yes, and we came to them. We spent 4 hours chatting about how everything is done. Oh, and we do this that way. Oh, and we manage talent this way. And we have these issues, and we have this, and we have that. But the fact that we actually went to a real international foreign agency and looked what's going on, looked under the hood, how everything is built, it was very insightful. And then we thought that it's an interesting thing, because if you've been in the agency business for 15 years or 20 years, basically you've been to all the conferences, to all the forums, to all the festivals, to all the awards, you've read all the books, you've been to webinars, and the only way to grow and to develop yourself as an agency founder is to peek in the little keyholes of other agencies, to talk with peers, to talk with your colleagues that do the same thing on the other side of the world. And because they're on a different market, again, they're very sincere. They have nothing to hide, right? They're not competitors, as I said. So we started doing these networking tours. And now, for the past 12 years, every 3 to 4 months, we engage on a journey. We pick a location on the map. We try to find some hot spot of the advertising or ad tech, martech, digital, creative, maybe different specializations a little bit of the communication industry.
Have you ever counted how many countries and how many agencies have you met?
Yes, I keep track of every agency that I know. It's about 570 right now. We have a whole list. Out of those 570 agencies, okay, we've started.
That's a lot.
It is a lot. I think that maybe some of the agencies are not existent anymore, but that's okay. It's been 12 years.
Yeah.
So some die, some are being sold, some are being bought.
Which agencies you still have the vivid memory?
Well, the first one definitely, the Italian
the
one.
first one
The Italian one, because that's the start.
Yeah.
I remember JWT in New York, which was a 7th-floor Ministry of Advertising, but on the other hand, we went through these 7 floors, 700 people, all in little cubicles. I love JWT's work. But I didn't feel the soul there. Maybe it was not the best time to visit. Maybe they had some crisis. Maybe
I don't know,
didn't see.
because many things happens in the industry.
Yeah.
A lot of legendary advertising name is disappearing.
Yeah. Disappearing.
I know it's GWT still here?
No, it's been
Combined with-
transformed. I think it eventually evolved into VML, I think.
Oh, okay. I heard
After
the
two or
news.
three
Yeah,
mergers
but
or something
many
like
names combined to one
yeah,
agencies.
yeah. But still, network agencies in New York, on those markets where network agencies are still strong, they're still very interesting, obviously, and they have very good talents. They have very good vision.
So this is, as I heard, that is still third time or fourth time to China.
Third time to China. We've been to Shanghai in 2016. We've been to Shanghai last year, and there were no more network agency in our scope of meetings. By the way, it were only local agencies, and this is our third time. Yeah.
Why you come to China this year?
Well, first of all, when we were last year, and we were to Shanghai, on the fifth day, I understood, why didn't I include Beijing in that trip? I need to return, because two different cities, two different markets, and they contrast each other. It's like Sao Paulo and Rio de Janeiro agencies in Brazil. They are very different.
Yeah.
And you understand better Rio's agencies when you know the feeling of Sao Paulo, a country with two big cities, Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh in Vietnam. Very similar model to China in a way.
Yeah.
Ho Chi Minh, political center, PR agencies, GR agencies, some big platforms, media headquarters. South, similar to Shanghai, creative hub, etc., etc. So the reason why we came so early now, just a year, is that we really wanted to see Beijing.
What surprised you the most about Chinese agencies?
As we were talking with you already a little bit, their invisibility to the outer world. I understand that the biggest Chinese agencies have local clients. They don't really care about being visible to the outer world, maybe. But I think that could be an interesting advantage if at least they would invest a little bit of their time to become visible to the outer world, not necessarily Western market, just outer world. I mean, Arab countries, if they start some businesses from Saudi Arabia or from Dubai, if they start searching for partners in China, probably they will find not local Chinese agencies, but there's a special type of agencies in China which are a partnership with Westerners. Some Western co-founder from Western Europe and the Chinese partner. And that Western co-founder is usually the source of new business coming in. And those agencies are visible, but they're much smaller.
Agencies like us,
Your agencies like yours are invisible.
It's
Totally.
really invisible to them.
Totally invisible.
If they want to do some business in
I had
China,
no-
they can't find it.
I reached out to you. You said yes. I looked a little bit at your LinkedIn profile. Didn't understand much anyway. Went on the website. I saw something about youth and lots of projects. Have no idea what kind of they are. But I had no idea that you have 450 people.
Yes.
That you have 4 offices. That you're a leading player, and you're doing tens or hundreds of projects every year, and each project is huge. I had no idea about that. Right? That you are, one of the biggest agencies in the country.
I think in the past decade, before,
Yeah.
industry here is much more like closed.
Yeah.
We're doing our business here. We have our local clients. We have our local media. So this looks like we don't need people to understand us. I know it's probably not a good thing, but it's kind of mindset of people doing advertising agencies here in China. I think a lot of people are trying to change that. Like me, so I got your message and I said, yes, please come.
Yes.
It's very important for our counterparts in different markets, and we exchange some ideas.
Yeah, you see, I'm from Russia, and the processes that are going now in Russia with the independent digital ecosystem We have our own chats, we have our own messengers, our own social networks, our own search engine. It's very similar to China.
Yeah, just like us.
Yes, just like you. Basically, there were 3 countries with independent.
It's China, Russia,
and Korea.
And Korea.
And South Korea, yeah. Even Japan is mostly a Google/Meta dominated market.
Yeah.
Right. But if we compare it with Russia, similar things are happening. Russian agencies are also closing up because their reasoning is the same as you said. Well, why care? We have different platforms. We cannot learn from each other. We have different tools, different language, different everything, different clients. Let's close up. But when an industry closes up, it starts to go slower. Platforms may be different, but the essence of our work is human-to-human communication. Humans are the same everywhere. Chinese are not, as people, as human beings, are not as unique as they may think.
Yeah, really.
We all we have the same hands, the same faces, the same hair.
One hand, 2 hands.
Yes, we still have the same issues. Somebody gets sick, parents grow old. If we start talking on a personal level, we find so many similarities. Cultural differences, yes, but not that. I mean, the deeper you go, the more similar people are. And the essence of brand building or brand to consumer communication, in the end of the day, it's personal communication, not companies talk to companies. Why influence marketing is so strong and so growing? Because it's actual physical person talking to a physical person, to a consumer. If we start locking up, both you and I in the Russian market, we will start losing this deeper understanding of the human evolvement of communication. Not just the platforms evolve, not just the tools change, but there is an evolution of communication, there are evolution of issues that the younger generation feels. And that is a worldwide thing. A young Chinese consumer is not that much different from a young British consumer. If we take 7-year-olds, 10-year-olds. Okay, they may have different cartoons that they watch, but the idea is still the same. They still are influenced by the IPs, by the mascots. That's the same thing. They still go and say, Daddy, Daddy, buy me this. Right? So the model is the same.
It's very similar.
It is very similar. So I think that, of course, we need to talk more. We need to interact more. We need to learn from each other more. Maybe not about the tools, but about the essence of the communication, the meaning, the emotions, the feelings, the issues that people have. That is a worldwide thing.
So to me, as a Chinese agency founder, CEOs, what do you suggest me to do? Given when we meet each other, I want to be more visible. I want to compete with the global players or something like that. What should I do? Some concrete steps.
I would actually advise one thing. Hire someone to do that.
Oh, really?
No, really. I'll explain why. Maybe some small agency across the border. The reason for that is, okay, you have all the capabilities to do it yourself, but first of all, you will be very picky. Oh no, on the page about us, we should write this because I am the founder, I need that. It is very hard to do advertising for yourself, right? Most of the agencies that try to do their self-promo, well, first of all, they prioritize it as number 10 because we have client work to do with. And they do it within the box. So maybe the simplest solution is actually to find some...
hire somebody to do
somebody
marketing for me to the Western...
Yeah, to do the visibility, to do the B2B visibility, They will do you the LinkedIn, they will do you the catalogs, the ratings in campaign ages and all these marketing...
That is the marketing job. But besides the marketing job, you need me to go outside, go some... trading around to meet people with you.
And you are invited to join us. Definitely, I would advise to travel, to mix and match with peers, with agency founders like yourself. Maybe festivals, maybe meetups like we do, these networking weeks in different countries. Maybe just, I don't know, next time you personally are thinking about taking a vacation, Where do you usually go? Philippines?
Japan.
Japan. Yeah. Why not call up a few Japanese agencies personally?
Yeah.
And tell them, hey guys, I am, by the way, a founder of one of the largest Chinese agencies. I just want to meet for a coffee. Let's chat. I can give you phone numbers of those agencies. I know a few very good Japanese agencies, and you can do it personally.
Yeah, and they're
one
happy.
They would be happy to
to
host
meet
you.
with.
Yeah, of course.
I think that is probably one common trait of advertising people.
They're very
marketers
open.
worldwide.
Exactly. They're very open. That it's the core essence of your marketing work. You cannot be sensible to the reality, to the atmosphere, to the cultural trends.
Yes.
If you're closed within a cabinet or an office, I think as a marketer, as a professional, you start to deteriorate.
Yeah. You met with so many agency head or CEOs. That is common trait.
Absolutely.
But what's the difference? For agency CEOs like in Moscow, in China, in Japan, or in Brazil. What's the difference?
The difference, I don't know, maybe work-life balance. One of the agencies surprised me most. One of the stories that we had was an agency in Rio de Janeiro in Brazil. We had a meeting with them scheduled at 4 p.m. or something. And in the morning, they are calling us and say, hey guys, can we move it a little bit earlier? Maybe 2 or 2:30. And we say, well, we will try our best, but we have a morning meeting and maybe we will not make it. They say, please come as early as you can. I say, why? I say, well, we've read the weather forecast. At 4 p.m., the waves are starting and we're actually surfing.
Oh, really?
So waves come first. Clients, commitments, partnerships come second.
We come to later.
And when we came to them, we came around 2:30 or something. At 3:30, they started glancing on the watch, and on the beach. The agency was placed on the beach.
Okay,
on the
that's
beach.
cool.
That's an interesting thing. So.
You're probably the first Russian man I know in real life. So I don't know if Russian in general, are you hardworking people? You're not like Brazilian.
I think in Moscow agency world, it's a rat race like in New York now. Yeah. Oh. Everyone is still in this feeling we need to generate our quotas, etc. So in majority, yes, I wouldn't call it hard working. I would call it spending a lot of time in the office.
No.
Not necessarily hard working, but in majority, yes, the agency world is quite destructive, and younger people don't want to join that anymore. Everybody is in a hierarchy. Everybody is reporting to superiors, spending lots of time writing reports on what I have actually done today.
Some bullshit work.
Yeah, a lot of bullshit. A lot of bullshit work. But, okay, the industry is young. It's still 30 years old in Russia. It's reinventing itself. Technologically, it's very advanced. Creatively, more or less. People-wise, life-wise, probably a little bit behind.
Yeah, so we're talking about the which come to my mind is you see the shift. Mm-hmm. I think what is the shift globally is reshaping the advertising the business. As you said, it's the technology, AI, or probably some cultural change. I don't know. There are any other elements to shift the industry.
Well, I think this is something that may sound a little bit unusual to you, and maybe China is not yet in that trend, is the trend of shifting from large agency, corporations and departments with many departments, to project groups, to freelance, not exactly freelancers, but groups made per specific project, consisting of highly skilled professionals, which are essentially freelancers, but for this project they come together as full-time project employees, but not agency employees. They have among them one coordinator who is handling the client as both an account manager and as a director to them. They work on that project and then they split away. So it is more and more turning into a business where there is a pool of professionals who do the work per project, and agencies become more like financial infrastructure, and some window where the client comes, the client pays, and if the client is unhappy, he has someone to talk about.
Yeah, it's also
to talk
happening
to.
here.
Yeah.
It's exactly happening in China. More and more people, they choose the small agencies, very small agencies or some studios. A second is freelancing jobs. They don't work for a corporate because they hate corporate, like long working hours, making money by them.
Yeah.
You know, that what is it. I think that's also a very challenge. It's a big challenge to agencies like us.
Yeah.
Because we want to recruit the
Yeah.
new talent. But if the talent don't want to work with us,
I think the solution eventually will be. You will cut this out if you don't like it. Yeah, but the solution eventually will be revenue sharing with employees.
oh,
Yeah.
you think that is the ultimate? You have to do that.
It will put their skin in the game. You know, they will become part of the process. They will be more of a partner model with us rather than, hired people, little pieces, nuggets that are doing the job. Larger agency do that with their top management. And most of the top management becomes, if not co-owners of the agency, but co-owners of the project, or revenue shares of this specific work. So they become more and more involved. And by sharing, I don't necessarily mean sharing money. It may be sharing of the brand. It may be sharing of the new project. So if the agency becomes a platform for personal growth of the talent of the employee, he can launch his own cosmetics brand there. Why not?
Yeah.
He can be not just the manager who buys influencer media, but he can become an influencer. So if an agency will be providing this platform of personal growth, money, ownership, projects, media, comic books, whatever, then the talent would be willing to join, but not join as worker of a company, but join as member of the platform. In a way. So I think the evolution will drive us there inevitably, whether we want it or not.
Make yourself a platform or infrastructure
For the personal growth of your own employees.
Yeah. So you have seen some signals in your market.
Yes, definitely. First, we've heard that idea in a school of advertising in Tel Aviv in Israel, and they had that advertising school, and we've spoken with the director of the school. It was 2017, like 10 years ago, and he said, "Look, guys, I think we're going to cancel agency management courses because there will be no agency management, but we will be doing more and more courses on skills, on project management."
Sorry to interrupt you. What surprised me that they have the course like agency management.
Yeah.
I don't think in China we have any
any
courses like that.
Courses at all.
That's cool.
I can give you another one. And Britain in that word, in that sphere, is British culture is very community based. Let's find a society of this. Let's found a society of that. They have societies, associations, clubs, everything.
Yeah.
The whole Great Britain is this one big society of societies. And they have, among all the industry associations, like Association of Advertisers, of Advertising Agencies, two different ones, they also have a body that's called Institute of Practitioners of Advertising. And their model is this. They take top-level senior people from top agencies, and they are the one who are teaching the courses to the students, and they understand that maybe they're teaching their competitors juniors.
Yeah.
But because most of the people from the industry are in that, all together, they are bringing up the next generation of advertising people.
Yes.
They are sharing, and the competing is done outside. And that is a good thing. That's why it's called Institute of Practitioners of Advertising.
That's very cool. Actually, you're talking about the British culture. There are different societies or different communities. It's like an ecosystem for the agency business. I think that's very important. Very important concept.
It is. When we were in London, they showed us the report that they made for the government, which emphasized the input that the advertising industry had in the GDP of the country. And I may be wrong with the exact figures now, but they somehow calculated, and they said, well, 16% of the GDP is growing thanks to the advertising industry.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's not that the advertising industry is 16% of the GDP, but the growth is influenced by 16% by us. They are trying to influence the decision makers that the advertising industry is actually a very big part of the economy.
Yes.
Because for many traditional governmental people, advertising is like leechers, that just suck blood from the business, and they do useless stuff, and they're just advertising expenses. It's not expenses, it's investments.
Yes.
Right? And advertising people are not leechers, they're actually the ones who are growing and booming that. And the second thing that these bodies can do, they can show the level of the advertising export, because advertising services can become an export of the economy as well.
To a country like China.
Does advertising
Russia,
for other countries. I think one of the largest advertising exporters is the Netherlands. In Amsterdam, a lot of creative agencies that are doing international work.
Yes.
They're doing it for a US brand that is being rolled out in Indonesia. But the fees are received by the agency in the Netherlands.
Yes.
And they're exporting their advertising services. That's how you build a global hub. So once Beijing agencies will be serving clients from Brazil who want to go to Vietnam, for instance, that's the
business we can.
That's the business where we can, and that's where we should head for, because Beijing agencies will have better understanding of what to do in, Southeast Asia.
Yes, I think that's two points I pick up from the analysis. First, you need to position your industry advertising agency is very important force in the context of the microeconomics.
Right.
You play a significant role. The second thing you're talking about is we can export our service, like agency like that. So we are trying to build overseas office.
Of course.
If we want to, I want to do that. Do you have any suggestion?
Yes,
Market I should go?
I can tell you the rest. I have answers to all the questions. Now, seriously, if we look at the way the Japanese, the South Korean agencies, and the Western agencies, French and American, have done it over the past 50 years, the answer is very simple. They always follow the client. Right? They had a big international client. Wherever Toyota expanded their operations, Dentsu opened an office. Wherever Samsung was selling their television sets back then, Cheil opened up an office. Same with WPP's agencies and so on. So you have to follow a client. You have to find a big client. So they open up offices. First, they work on the client that they came with, but then they start serving local clients. And they become a separate business. It's just that the client, the big client, helped to cover the initial costs of the first 3-5 years of adaptation on a new market. So
first is go to our own
find a client.
Find my clients.
Find a client who has global ambitions. Who has global ambitions. Sell him the idea that those global ambitions are real, and then say that you will go with him hand in hand to all the new markets. I don't know
if it's in my skepticism is about that. I know you said when the Japanese brand they go overseas market, the Dentsu go with them. When Samsung go to the overseas market, Cheil go with them. But when Huawei go to the overseas market, they actually prefer a local. For example, if they go to US, they prefer a US company rather than a Chinese agency. That is very different culture to me. Which is also the reality.
Which is very strange, because when Chinese tourists travel to Russia, they never spend a single RMB in Russian businesses. They all spend it in Chinese businesses. So the culture is there. It's just the wrong industry. Maybe you should focus not at the top tier, but at the challenger.
Yeah, that's true.
And go with them and say, look, you will be. If you go alone if you will be working with the local agencies and only local agencies, you will be doing a lot of mistakes. Let us be for you, okay, the intermediary for working with the local agencies, the interpreter for working with the local agency. Because Russian businesses hire me to find a local agency in China or India or wherever, but they still need me. Because they still need someone who understands both cultures, both agency cultures, and can be, this seamless introduction to them. So first, your footstep on that foreign markets may be as a consulting agency that works with the local medias and with the local agencies supporting the Chinese brand going outside.
Help them do some sourcing work.
Helping do the sourcing work, helping to control the interests of the brand, because Chinese brands make a lot of mistakes and they also overpay. They are known to be very, very good and efficient and so on. But look, every person, when he works on a foreign market, is paying the tourist fee on every market, right?
I think what you said has revealed a truth, that is the new generation Chinese brand. It seems like they adapt a new approach, because we have been working with TikTok. We do a commercial for the Black Friday or whatever it is. That's what we did. Our team fly from Beijing to the States to shoot a commercial.
Another reason for that, maybe that when those first generation brands went outside, they didn't have any strong Chinese agencies to support them.
Yes.
If that was 10 years ago, where could they go? To the big four, to the big six?
Yes.
Right, but now you have the capabilities and the capacities to support them. It's a similar situation was in Saudi Arabia. In Saudi Arabian market, it's very interesting. It was totally dominated by American and Western agencies until 2017. In 2017, the prince published his new vision 2030 for Saudi Arabia, and he said, we need local agencies. Yes, and since most of the country is controlled by 200, 300 families, each family is responsible for their own sector of economy. And so now
each family has their own agency.
Each family now has their own agency.
That's cool.
Very convenient. Yeah, but okay, it may sound funny in the beginning, but they're growing. Over the past 5-7 years, the work that they are doing is getting better and better. They are understanding more and more logic. They first survived on the funding from that specific industry that they were providing. Basically, they were buying their own services. But now they're, opening up as well as agencies. They're starting to serve clients outside of the industry they were founded in, and it's becoming an open market. So it's a question of growth, and I think that the local Chinese agencies have grown already enough. I mean, the level that we see now in 2025 here in Beijing and Shanghai, it differs totally from what we've seen in 2016.
In my perspective, I always see advertising agencies is like a part of the soft power of a country. Because for the U.S. advertising agencies, they get success not only because they're local clients like Coca-Cola or P&G, because their brand methodologies. It seems like they know how to build a brand, or they have the idea or the theory there. But for Chinese companies or Chinese advertising agencies, when we go to a strange foreign company, if we're talking about brand building, they will say, why we come to you to do brand building? We go publicity or go Ogilvy, That is also something that I think for agencies like us, we need to think about what we can bring to the table in terms of the marketing, the theories, to reinvent the ideology of the marketing. I don't know. That is my perspective.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. But look at Chinese cars 10 years ago and now. Same thing. 10 years ago, what could a Chinese auto manufacturer offer?
What makes us do, like we call it, the U-turn is the EV. Because the electrical vehicles is how the Chinese, the automakers make their name and their market. Right. You need to have EV.
The change of technology jump-started the industry leadership here. Okay, the change of technology in advertising will jump-start the industry leadership.
Yeah, probably
here.
probably how to do TikTok marketing,
Or AI.
how to do AI-driven marketing,
or DeepSeek injections.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
would probably can
yeah.
gain the market share.
Right. With the change of technology, with the evolution, the list of the top players changes.
Yes, that's also very important. Okay, I think I have my last question.
Sure.
My last question is, if you could one piece of advice to the young people in China do advertising, what will be the advice?
If we're talking about creative people, or sales people, or
accept people, account
everyone.
people, create people, whatever you in your mind.
There could be hundreds of advices. The one that I would give is to try to always remember that advertising communication is, in the end of the day, a foam of the culture. It's like, when you have coffee and then foam on the top, right? It's something that is born out of culture. And by culture, I mean not necessarily just museums or just contemporary culture and singers. But in order to be a good communicator, creative/sales, it's all communication. You have to be ingrained in the culture very, very deeply. So spend more time understanding your own culture, human culture, culture of other nations, culture of other people. And yes, that means a lot of music, a lot of cinema, a lot of paintings, a lot of museums. So be more ingrained in culture. It seems non-evident. You might think like, well, I'm in business. I'm not in art history. I'm not, doing social studies. I'm in business. I need KPIs, metrics, engagement rates, click rates, links, and affiliate programs, and that's it. But that's not the focus. That's the tools. The focus of what we do is actually building connections. I reached out to you via LinkedIn. Okay, 500 years ago, I would have sent a pigeon, a flying pigeon with a note. The tools change. The skill which allowed me to get your feeling and to get you open and to connect is what is most important. And the connectivity that arises is based on our common human culture and common human essence. The eternal issues, life, death, love, and so on.
That is something last like forever.
Yes. Some eternal existential things.
Yes.
Because actually we are in that business. We're in the existential business. Even if the result of our work is Black Friday sale.
By the end of the day, it's people to people.
Of course.
It's culture to culture.
Yeah.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
I'm very looking forward, maybe next time, meeting you in Russia.
Absolutely.
Or
any place in the world.
To meet in different agencies.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Thank you.
谢谢。